Good morning, everybody. I am excited to just attend and do this above average mindset call. We are going to talk about how to create a digital product for your brand or business. So you're going to want to go ahead and get some notes because this is going to be intense. Um, I am just so happy with how everything is coming together. Um, this is just what I've prayed and worked for. I'm super excited with my credit score and what this business credit. I'm diving into business credit. So as I learn some things, I'll definitely drop some nuggets for you. But if anybody's working on your personal credit, if you're like me, I didn't have any student loans. I'm really, really grateful that my parents prepared and planned for me a college plan. And so the debt that I incurred was debt that I did to, grow this business. And so I was very, very smart with my stimulus and small business support that I got, and I paid off my credit cards. And from there, in June, I want to say Chase lowered my credit limit as I started paying it down. And so I called with my increased credit score and they reconsidered and reinstated the original rate. So it is true. When you don't need the money, they give it to you. Like I have a really, really big cushion now so that if anything happens, I'm okay. And it's with other people's money, right? So, anyway, that's my little tidbit. I am thoroughly surprised and impressed with how big the numbers are jumping and how fast. I was at 720 in November. Then I was at 740. Then last week I was at 765. And now I'm at 783. And I am knocking on that 800 score. So, I definitely was a little hesitant at first of sharing my journey, but I don't mind being the face. Like Black people can have good credit, right? Let's get rid of that stereotype and let's also talk about just how impactful your debt ratio with these credit limits. Like these credit scores, if you pay them down, you will see an immediate difference, and that's what I'm seeing. And the limits are wild, right? And there's so many things that I could do with it if I need to. And so I am being very cautious. My goal was to fix my personal credit and now go and do everything in my business credit. So there are some things that I have planned to do as far as diversifying my business. And so I will definitely bring you along as I start making those actual decisions. But right now it's just like getting ready, right? I've been working. That was the goal. I went into 2020 like this is the last time I'm going to have this limit, and I'm going to make sure that I have it. I have an easel, I have a whiteboard on my wall that had like the limits and the percentages, and I would look at it every day. And so when money came in, I knew where it was going. I knew where it was going first, and that was to pay me first so that I can get that off my back and literally build and use my business within business credit. And I'm so grateful for my dad for pushing me years ago to open up a business account so that I have this history. And so that's my story. If anybody has questions, you can definitely email me or DM me. I'm open. I'll share what I know. And then if I don't know something, I can definitely send you to people that are experts. So that's that. But yes, I'm excited to talk to you guys about creating a digital product. And so I'm going to actually share my screen. Yeah, we're doing this the right way, right? Okay. So we're going to dive into how to make digital products for your brand or business. And so for those that don't know, my name is Danielle Mitchell, and I am the marketing strategist for Average Black Girl. And prior to working at Average Black Girl or creating that brand, I worked for L'Oreal, Kmart, Sears, and Coca-Cola. So I've gotten my experience from corporate, which I think is important. It also just kind of makes me unique. This isn't something that I just woke up one day and decided I wanted to start. But while I got all this experience, I kept hearing people wanting to know what they taught and what was their method. And I saw a need for me to help small businesses and to give them the resources so that you can understand marketing, understand how to have your brand identity, understand how to connect with your audience, and therefore you'll have consistent streams if you keep doing those things over and over and over again. So, we're going to talk about these discussion points. One, how to turn your service into a digital product. And for my physical products owners, we're also going to talk to you about how you can create a digital product to complement your physical products. And we're going to talk about how you create, how you find templates that match your brand, how do you sell your digital product, and tools you need to market and sell your digital product. So, yes, class is in session. And make sure that you go ahead and grab your pen. We're getting into it. So, the disclosure is it takes work and consistent effort to get the results you desire. A commitment to continuing your marketing strategy, build your confidence, and putting yourself out there has to happen in order for you to see results. And I thank you for choosing and trusting me during this time because you could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. And so I think that now that we're in 2021, we can agree that nothing will ever be the same after this. But we can also agree that that's okay, right? But yeah, we're not going to go back to the old normal. We're going to have a new normal, but it's not going to go back to how it was. And so you can kind of see who was like, I'm just going to wait it out until we get back to our normal, and then the people that pivoted. And I know for me, I pivoted and I'm so grateful that I did. But for those that are still waiting, I encourage you and implore you to pivot now if you haven't before, and be okay with that. It'll never be the same because it won't. And so let's talk about service based businesses. So, for service based businesses, there are two reasons that you would want your digital product. So, one, it allows you to grow and scale without the burnout, right? As a service based business, you can only do so much because you're only one person. And then it comes down to the point of, do you want to hire and create another you? Or do you want to have a product that you can just reach more people, and then the people that pay you that premium can work with you one on one? But other than that, they can still get the benefit of your knowledge and your system and you without you having to be physically burnt out. And so that is the easier way. And that is also the way for you to grow and scale. And that's why people are diving into digital products. I also think that having your own ebook now is really like a business card, right? It's the first thing that people can test you out at a low cost, and they can uh, see if you know what you're talking about, know your stuff. If you are able to have a quality content at a low cost, then I'm more inclined to give you the premium bucks, right? And that allows you to turn your cold leads warm, and so many things. So for service-based businesses, I want you to ask these questions. What problems do you solve? What is your signature program, and what are those steps? How do you break this down? And then do you survey your audience and see, hey, what do you guys want from me? They'll tell you. Now, with this, you want to take them through some sort of transformational offer. Transformational offers mean that, hey, I now know something that I didn't know before. Now, a lot of people get caught up, right? They're like, oh my God, I got to create something that's like from A to Z. And that's not true. You can create something that's from A to C or A to D, or A to G, depending on what you're looking for. It doesn't have to be so complicated. Those A to Z ones are what you would call that signature product. And we'll get into that. And that's your higher end, your premium tier. But you can definitely do something from A to C, and people will indulge it, love it, and as long as it's taking them through that transformation, you're good. So I want you to ask yourself, what is your time commitment and what is your consistency commitment? Because it's one thing to create the product, but then once you're done creating the product, you're not done business-wise and working. No, now you're turning your efforts from creating to then selling. And for product-based businesses, you can do two different things, right? If you've reached success and you know what that means, then you can then teach other people in your industry what in this processes and steps are to get there, right? So I see a lot of beauty entrepreneurs that once they hit a certain platform, then they have a course teaching other people in the beauty industry how to grow and scale, or how to, get their vendors, or how to get into different stores and things like that. So you can do that. But you can also create a digital product to go with your existing product. So if I have let's say, a ice cream product, right? I'm an ice cream company. I can create an ebook that has different recipes that you can use with my product, right? Maybe I'm going to show you how to make an ice cream cake and you use my ice cream. Or maybe I'm going to teach you how to do something with your gingerbread houses in the winter. And then for Valentine's Day, you can do this. And you're showcasing what they're doing, but in your book, they have to buy your product to complete that. And so that's when the chick can go with it. You can do the same thing for hair products, same thing for makeup, same thing for so many stuff. And you also want to ask yourself, what general business idea can you create? And then what relevant course or product goes with your brand or business? And again, you want to ask yourself, what is my time commitment and what is my consistency commitment? And so now we're going to talk about how you can create your digital products. So there are 4 different types of digital products out here. There are ebooks and physical books. There are digital downloads, which are guides, content calendars, or bundles of some sort. Then there are webinars and masterclasses. And so with the webinars and masterclasses, so the masterclasses are paid and you're teaching something, right? So after this class, this is a masterclass that I have charged before. So after this class, you know what to do, right? You don't need me. You may want me because you may want my designer or want my formatting or my skills, and that's different. But you're not going to leave this course and be like, I don't know where to start. I don't know where to go. I don't know how to do it on my own. That's what you're guaranteeing in the master classes. With webinars, you're teaching with the purpose of upselling. So if my webinar is free, then I want you to do something at the end, right? So I may have a 6-step program and I may give you 1, maybe 2 of the steps. And then that's it. I'm going to say, if you like those first 2 and you're going to get these quick wins, then when it's all said and done, I know that you're going to want to upsell and get my workbook or get my course or work with me or whatever. And then I'm going to have some sort of call to action at the end where it's time sensitive. I'm going to give you $500 off or $300 off or a bundle that's going to expire in 24 hours, 48 hours, some sense of urgency. You can also have courses or a membership program. And so I personally have both. I have courses that are on Teachable. And this says use Thinkific or Teachable. You can also use Kajabi. Just depends on what your cost is, right? Thinkific and Teachable are cheaper than Kajabi. And if you're just starting, I suggest being smarter and having it smaller at first, as far as your cost. And then as you grow, you can always move your stuff over, right? And then for your membership courses, so for me, I have a community called the Marketing Makes Sense Accountability Group. And so that is $30 a month. And that is able to get all types of solutions and resources, as well as me saying, go sell. Now, masterclass replay strategies. You can do a couple of things, but at first, people normally allow the replay to be at a lower price. So, an example can be, okay, first 50 people that register, and then I'm going to increase after that. Or you can say 10, 20, whatever that looks like. And so, your example can be, okay, it's going to be $5.99 for the first 50 people, and then you can increase it to 20, and then you can increase it at $49. And that's just one example, right? I've seen masterclasses be for $97. I've seen master classes be for $197, $297. Once you get to around, I would say $500 to $600, then it comes into a course versus a one-time masterclass. And then templates. So you can get your templates for your business. First of all, I would love if you would shop at my store. So if you go to aboveaveragestore.com, I have templates for ebooks. But you can also go on Canva. I love Canva. I actually build majority of my things off of Canva. But I go and get extra help, right? I don't always just use their templates. I will go and either work directly with designers and get something custom for me. Like I did my ebook template, I got that custom designed. Or you can go to Fiverr, you can go to Creative Market, or you can go to Etsy. And then how to sell your digital products. So you sell by being consistent. There's a reason why I have every Tuesday, I'm committing to going live and being consistent with my above average mindset calls. And so you can be consistent on Facebook and IG Live. Now there's Clubhouse and TikTok and YouTube and all that stuff. You can also engage on social media. I encourage people engage with at least 25 people per day and not just hearts, right? Hearts is lazy, or fire emojis. What can you do to actually give a full sentence, to showcase value, to showcase that you actually read the person's post and are not just trying to get your engagement up? Writing emojis is one step away from doing nothing. It's very lazy. And then your strategy must. So you must provide value and don't be stingy, right? A lot of people are super, super stingy with their content. And they're like, well, if I give everything away, why would they buy my stuff? And that's valid, but you're not thinking wide enough. You're not thinking strong enough. You're not thinking far enough, right? One of my coaches always said, sell the what. No, give away the what, teach and sell the how, right? So I'm telling you that you can use these platforms and you can go these places to get your templates, but I personally can do it for you. Or you can get my course and I'm showing you how to search things, how to Google things, how to talk back and forth to designers. And that's the how, right? So don't be stingy because you want to showcase what it looks like. And also, let's get away from if I do everything, if I show everything, then they're not going to buy. That's not true, right? The people that are never going to buy from you are what we call the DIYers. And those people aren't going to buy from you because they want to do it themselves. So it's imperative and it's actually more beneficial for you to go ahead and either create a product that they need, like a planner or a journal or something, because they're going to do it themselves. They're not going to come to your classes or your services. Or you can go on YouTube, where a lot of people that go to YouTube go to do it yourself. So you might as well go to that platform and get monetized, right? And you always want to be building that know, like, and trust. So what is that? That is, you want people to know you, right? And that's the purpose of being kind of goofy and sometimes being quote unquote off brand. And people are like, oh my God, she's off brand. What is this? No, she's showcasing that she's human. She's showing her baby or her family or her friends or whatever, because now it feels like you know her. And when you know people, the next thing is you want them to like you. You want them to like how you talk, like how you teach, like the value, like all that stuff. And then lastly, you want them to trust you. You want to trust them. And that's why you show social proof and things like that, so that you won't be a quote unquote scammer or perceived in that way. And people know that if I give you that money, I'll be good. So I to wrap that up, people want to know what you're doing. Have you done it to yourself? What you're doing, have you done it to other people? And lastly, what you're doing, if I do the same, if I give you my money, will I get the same results? If you can showcase that, as well as building know, like, and trust, you will continue to get a constant flow of people. Again, you want to communicate with at least 20 followers a day. And then email marketing. Email marketing is a great tool. And what you want to be doing while you're doing your email marketing is you want to provide value, right? You also want to email more. I know that there are some people that are so scared to email their followers because they're going to get unsubscribers. And guess what? Those people weren't going to buy from you. Or if they bought from you, they bought and they're done. They're not your ongoing stuff, but maybe it's because you're only showcasing sales and you're not showcasing any value. So think about how you can add value to it, what you can teach, or what resources can you provide, as well as pushing your product. And then give offerings and you to give out offerings to allow them to test you out, right? Again, what is your low cost, low barrier to entry that people can test you out, see what's going on, see if you're valid before they go to the big kahuna. Every so often you'll get that, right? There's two different types of people out there. There is the hunter, where I go out, take my gun, I see my prey, boom, got it, right? That type of person bites 20% of the time. 80% of the time, you're going to have the grower or the farmer type of method where you're constantly cultivating your leads and they're growing at different times, but they're constantly growing. You're having that flow. So a lot of people think, oh, I'm going to do this and then boom, everybody's coming. And that's not the case, but that's because you're thinking that majority of the people are going to be like that hunter method. And that's just simply not the case. With webinars and masterclasses, you want to make sure that you teach value, you build a strategy around it, and you show consistency, and you are able to generate additional income. So when I mean that, I mean you can't just announce on Tuesday that you're having a masterclass on Wednesday. Give yourself a couple of weeks to sell, especially if this is a new thing that you're doing. And make sure that you actually teach the value and you don't leave people confused. If you're on YouTube, you want to consistently upload. You want to have a consistent upload schedule. Make sure you put links in the description box, and you want to make sure you put links in your end cards. With LinkedIn, you want to post weekly. I suggest 2 to 3 times a week, and you want to engage in DMs. Again, that can be part of your 20 people a week, though. But LinkedIn, you don't have to do as much because I find a higher success rate, but you do want to engage and then get them out of the DMs, right? That's the goal on LinkedIn. You want to get on a Zoom call. You want to schedule some sort of thing. You want to get them where you are able to sell. And I know if you're like me, once I'm on the phone, I got you because we can talk about payment plans. I could talk about what your pain points are. I can make something custom, or I can talk to specifically to whatever your pain is. And I can also ask for clarity to make sure that I can service you, right? Because I have some people coming to me and they want to make their own like autobiography book. I don't do that. I do more workbooks and coloring books and planners and journals and things that I can sell. And then I do things around business because it's easier for me to guide you on how to sell something that is connected to your audience versus you. When it's your story, it's really about you, and you have to have that cult-like following like a Michelle Obama to really be successful, in my opinion. But when you make it about them or about a product or about a solution that they're looking for and you're throwing in your story throughout, that to me is an easier product for me and my skill set and what we provide through Average Black Girl. And then you want to let people know what you do. So many people don't do that. Like, you want to let people know in conversation. Do your friends know what you do? Do they? In passing, let people know. On your personal social media. I am more active on my personal social media because more people engage me there, right? I go with where people are at. And lastly, we'll touch on marketing tools needed to survive. So if you're looking to host your digital products, you can use your existing website, such as Shopify, WordPress, or Squarespace. You can also use Gumroad, Samcart, or Thrivecart. You can create products. So you can create products on Fiverr, Canva, Creative Market, and Etsy. You can host classes. You can host classes on Zoom. A lot of people are like, where do I start? You're making it complicated. You can just start hosting classes on Zoom. And then when you get ready, you can upgrade to the Zoom webinar. Webinar Jam is the creme de la creme. You need to have some sort of lighting, so ring light or stage light. And you want to have screen recording software. And then I like the Yeti mic. And then your email marketing, I use ConvertKit, but I've also used Constant Contact with different clients. I started off on MailChimp, so there's no shame. MailChimp is free for the first 2,000 subscribers. So if you need to start there, there's nothing wrong with that. And then we're going to talk about, how you're pitching yourself. So you want to make sure that once you have your product nice and tidy, you want to pitch your product to service or product or service to larger corporations. That's who has the money. That's who can pay you in full. So think about that. You want to have some individuals and you want to also have corporate. So figure out how you can get your stuff into corporate. And I don't want you to be like, well, I'm just a body care place. I can't. No, a lot of corporations are really trying to get creative on how they can show client and employee appreciation in the pandemic. So reach out and figure out how you can get on their next shipping list. Valentine's Day is coming up. Maybe they can do something for their entire their people, or there's resources. You can work with the women's resource group, the Black resource group. There's so many different resource groups that have a budget for something. So get creative. You want to make sure that you have a proposal. So look at the issues from other brands in the industry and solve your problem with your solution. So that's what I do, especially for consulting. I will create a proposal. I will include what their issue is and list, again, the what, not the how, of how I'm going to fix it and increase. And then we have our sit downs, right? And then your program, determine what your program price is, time commitment per person, per team, especially if they're going to be bundling, right? But determine what that looks like. And then negotiate. Do your research and create a good, better, best. That is an easy way for you to showcase, hey, this is my good program. This is what it comes with. This is the better one. And then this is the best one. And most people will go for the middle one. And then I would love for you to connect on my official channels. And that is it. That is our class. Class was in session. Let me stop sharing. All right. So this was fun. I feel like, again, we really talked through, but digital products are here. I love them. I'm here to be a resource if someone needs help. I would love for you to inquire with me, just DM. You can also email me at danielle@averageblackgirl.com. And we can get you started on what is best for you, whether that's a course, a workbook, or one-on-one service. Or if you just need to join my Facebook group, I would love to have you there as well. But this was really fun for me. I hope it was beneficial for you. And I will see you next week on the Above Average Mindset Call. Bye, guys.